and Chandra, we're glad to have you here. And Tony, we're so glad to see you here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Chandra, I'm going to turn it over to you right now.
Well, thank you for having us. Today is a special day because we get to have Tony on and celebrate the fact that he has won Shining Star of the Month.
I really appreciate it.
Which is a huge honor.
Yes, it is.
And that honor happens because of the great work that you do and all of the people that have won this before. So it's my privilege and pleasure to introduce Tony. And Tony, you've been with us since 2006.
2006, yes, ma'am.
2002.
2006.
Oh,
2006 started out as a maintenance mechanic one, but quickly got promoted
to maintenance mechanic 2, and then a couple years later became senior maintenance mechanic.
So I mean that just shows how dedicated he is and what an asset he is. So
we need mechanics around.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the interesting thing is that Tony's here. Part of it is because of the great job he does, but also because he's a real team player and considerate of his teammates, and you know what, and that's what really moved us as we sat down and had, you know, we always have lots of people that are nominated, and they all have very, very good stories of why they were nominated. But Tony's stood out especially because, you know, he really went above and beyond for one of his fellow employees. I mean, he was here till 11 o'clock at night. And his fellow employee is one of the people. He had actually 2 very significant nominations, and this was because, you know, you had a really hectic day taking care of part of your job, which was the hot water system you were working on, and then his fellow employee had an issue with their car. And I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what the alternator does, but I know that it needed to be fixed, and so, you know, he worked with them, fixed it, gave him a jump start, but not just that, you made sure that the person got out of the community, because you know sometimes they stop, right?
Yeah, sometimes
so you know
break
that better
down
than I
on the
do.
side of the road or something.
Yeah, and so he said, you know, let me follow you out, and then here's my number if you need some assistance and if you need a ride, and I think that's really going above and beyond.
That is.
And that just shows really the kind of person you are, and we appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That has a huge impact.
Yeah. Thank you to the person that nominated me, Raul. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, Raul was the one person that nominated
I really appreciate it.
So.
Thank you.
And then we also got a nomination from one of our residents who said that, you know, after having, you know, some multiple issues with floods in their kitchen, you know, that you reached out and made sure that everything was working fine, so you followed up. And then they said they had a problem in another part of the apartment, and, you know, you could have said, well, you know, I'm just here to look at this, but you really went back and you checked and you assisted and you helped to get the right kind of assistance from your other teammates. And that's really going above and beyond.
Yes.
It's going beyond your job, and that's what I think. As the executive director and as a fellow employee, I really appreciate that, and I know our residents.
It means a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So we are so happy to present to you. This is, of course, a letter congratulating you, but then also your Shining Star certificate, and
thank you.
there is a gift card. For $150 for you
really appreciate
to spend as you do, especially during the holiday season.
Good Christmas.
Yes, and then your Shining Star, so you can add that to your name tag. But, you know, it's just, Tony's the kind of person, and he exemplifies what we look for in our team members.
Right.
And you know, and as a person, as an employee, you know, so professionally and personally. And so I'm really blessed to have you on our team.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Thank you.
I think Tony is a perfect example of our employees around here. It's wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am. It means a lot.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we're just really happy to have him, and we're happy to have, you know, as I said, on a regular basis, we get, you know, quite a few people that are nominated. So it's a very, very difficult decision because we have such great people. And so, you know, I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for us here at Green Springs.
I've been nominated a lot of times, but never won it. This is my first time winning, so I'm very excited about winning. So first of all, I want to thank Jesus Christ for blessing me with this opportunity to win this award. It means a lot to me. And thank you to the people that wrote these nominations. I'm very grateful for them taking the time to acknowledge me and go out of their way to write a letter to acknowledge what I did for them. So thank you so much. And thank you to you for taking time to your busy schedule to acknowledge me as well. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. This is the fun part of my job. It's being out
Yeah.
here.
One of those you
being
look forward to.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Sitting behind the desk is not the fun part, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I like about my job too. I get to move around. I'm always in motion, always moving, always busy. Sitting still doing something like this is not what I.
Well, you were saying you were what,
25,000 steps yesterday.
Steps yesterday.
So
I need to put mine on first before I count it, but that's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
So what got you interested in doing mechanical work?
I'm always the type that would like taking things apart and then putting it back together. So it was just in me. I always knew that this was the type of stuff I would like to do.
Did you get any special training or just?
Before I started with Greenspring, I went to Job Corps and I studied electrical wiring. Did that for about close to a year. After that, got a job in DC for a little while, and then after that, came here in 2006. Started as a young man, and I love working here. It's a pleasure to work with all these wonderful people with so much knowledge and wisdom and successful lives that they live. It's very rewarding to work here.
Well, it's great to have those of you who stay around.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would love to.
That's great.
And my work here for another 10 more years.
That's great.
It's wonderful.
Very nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
So is anything else new going on in Greenspring we need to know about? We have about 4 minutes.
Well, I know that you were talking about, we had the first meeting in GS about getting ready for potential snow. Not that
Oh,
it's
yes.
Not that it's today, no snow today. But part of what they do is to make sure that we're ready to hit the ground running if something does happen.
That's
And
right.
so-
Yesterday we prepared, got all our snow blowers, snow equipment ready, mounted the blade on front of the truck, made sure the blowers were working properly. It was a lot of work. Took a lot of damage last year from that
Yeah.
big blizzard we had.
Oh, yeah.
But we got it all tuned up. A couple equipment needs a little more touch up, but for the most part we're ready to go.
Great. Well, I'm feeling secure. I'll have my air mattress in my trunk.
That's a good idea.
I might just bring it in and just keep it. I'm hoping that maybe snow skips a year or so, sort of, maybe, no.
I actually like the snow.
do
Brings
like
back
the
the kids in me. Yeah.
It is fun to look at when you're inside, not outside.
That's one nice thing about here. We don't have to go out in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. It
I
is-
remember about the second year I was here, there was some man who was standing on the bridge watching it snow just
Oh, wow.
heavily, grinning away. And somebody said, well, you're happy today. I said, I don't have to shovel it anymore.
Great, that's great.
That's awesome.
It is,
So
it is.
I think you all take good
That's what
care
we're here
of us.
for. Yeah,
That's
that's what we're here
wonderful.
for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They work really hard, and
Yeah.
you can imagine being out there in the cold. And right now so you'll see an interesting phenomenon. There's a shuttle bus that's running across the parkway, and because our staff members
Oh, they're
are
probably
parking
park
outside
over
because we're
there.
working on the garage.
Right.
But they have been such troopers,
Yes.
coming to park there, then getting on the shuttle bus. I actually am loving the shuttle bus because it gives me a chance to see everybody in the morning, at least the
Right.
people that are on the bus
Yes.
with me, and just have some fun conversation in the few minutes it
People you
takes
don't
to come
normally see.
over. And it's door-to-door service for
Yes.
me right now, so I'm
Right.
excited. But it's been, it adds a little bit of time, and it is an inconvenience, and I'm just really happy that they have been such good sports about it.
That's
And
great.
So,
That's great.
It just really shows, as Tony is, that the employees are really
and just part of the
willing to-
whole community.
yes, and
And
willing
that's-
to take the time and do what needs to be done.
I think
so.
that's what's so important too, is that we are all a community, whether you're a hired member of the community or a resident, and I think it really makes a nice place
It
to sit.
absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it absolutely does.
Okay, well, thank you so much for
you.
coming in, and thank you for
so much
sharing
for
your
having me.
story
It's a
with
pleasure. Thank you.
us. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. So, well, let's take a little break here, and we'll look at one of the little videos of Eye on Greenspring.